Good afternoon. I'm Marlon Weems, publisher of the Journeyman newsletter, and I'm here with my man Arturo Dominguez, the publisher of Decolonized Journalism, and he is coming to us from a secret location. And it's a very nice looking location, I have to say, man. It looks sunny and
it's hot.
Well,
it's hot, but
man, it's hot everywhere. Let me tell you, I looked around a few minutes ago, and you know how and I was like, what is it? What changed? My AC turned off for the first time since Sunday.
Wow.
It's just running and run. I mean, what are you going to do? You turn it up to like in the 70s, in the high 70s, and you're just walking around miserable. So
yeah, like we just had that tropical depression and a whole bunch of rain before that, a lot of flash flooding, and then all of a sudden it's just hot and humid. And using Homeland Security math, it's about 5,000% humidity right now.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's hot.
That's crazy. I mean, we had yesterday about, oh man, it was in the 80% humidity. I mean, like 87. And once it gets past that, you might as well go take a shower. It's just like, it's just like everything is sticky. We had, I'm trying to think of what it was I was doing. Oh, some people, one of my neighbors he has a little outdoor bash every, oysters and all that, shrimp and stuff. And dude, I walked in the house and I was just like, my clothes were just damp, from just the humidity. So anyway, lots to talk about. And, before we got on, I said, I guess it was a week or so back, I made this pledge that I was gonna, try not to talk about Trump so much, but I swear, days like today and yesterday, I really would be remiss if I didn't. So
it's impossible not to.
It is definitely impossible. So I guess the best thing we can do, sir, is get the show going and just kind of get it over with. Just get it out there. Just take our meds and what are you gonna do, man? This guy,
right?
It is a lot. So at any rate, man, let's kick it off and we'll take it from there. All righty. All right. Well, where to begin?
Man, we could start with the Iran deal or whatever you want to call that. That's terrible. Terrible deal.
Gosh.
Terrible deal.
Man, are you in the jungle? Am I hearing like monkeys and what's going on?
That's a bird. I don't know what it was.
You were in Texas, man.
I am. It's a pretty wild place around here. We're in the piney woods over here.
I have seen stories about people with these animals from the zoo in their backyard in cages. So maybe, maybe that's what's going on.
You never know what's flying around out here.
Hey, man, listen. So I tell you, well, first of all, we don't even know the entirety of the deal. We know what Trump has told us the deal is. And I figure if he's willing to admit to something this bad, it's got to be way worse.
Right. I mean, you look at it, and from what I've heard, and I don't know, there was some stuff yesterday on social media that was pertaining to the memorandum of understanding. Let's be clear about that too, right? This isn't a deal.
No,
It's a
it's not.
memorandum of understanding so that they can continue negotiating a deal.
Right.
And
This is
you
a
know, the
deal
nuclear
they basically agreed to agree to work on a
right,
possible deal.
right. And they only gave themselves a 60-day window, and I know they can extend it, but
They
come on,
can't get
man,
nothing done in 60. They haven't been able to get
it's
anything done
unrealistic.
in the last 4
Right.
months. So, I mean, it's just preposterous. And the part that gets me, and I do not think the press is doing a good enough job at this, the difference in what these clowns have done and what Obama was somehow able to do without killing anybody, getting anybody killed, bombing anybody. It is such a dramatic difference. And
Right.
I really don't think he's getting the proper, or not even that so much Obama. He doesn't need the credit. You know, Obama's good. We'll talk about him later. But the idea that a real estate guy and his son-in-law are going to sit down with a bunch of nuclear physicists and, you know, seasoned diplomats, it's really not a surprise. And you know what? To me, it points to just underneath all of it, the you know, just sort of the racism that they think they don't have to know anything. They can just send some folks over there and they'll handle these guys. Well, boy, they are in for a surprise.
Right.
Because
And this is that meritocracy we keep talking about, right? How they just keep handing unqualified white people these jobs. And I mean, you're going to the negotiating table, like you said, with nuclear physicists, with, you know,
to talk about nuclear weapons. I mean, come on.
Right. Right.
We've been meeting with these guys, and it's like sending me to no, actually, I think I could probably do okay. But it's crazy. These are people who do not know anything. Even JD Vance. JD Vance is smart, but this is a guy that was telling the Pope a month ago that he need to be careful on religion. JD Vance just got to be a Catholic, like 10 minutes ago.
Right. He's a brand new Catholic.
They just believe that they are inherently smarter than no matter who. And it is something that I have not had that luxury. You got to be raised a certain kind of way to just think you don't have to know nothing, right? And I would venture a guess that your family, your parents and whatnot, I was told, Marlon, you got to work harder than everybody else. Now, did I do it all the time? No, but it wasn't because I thought that I could just walk into a room with a bunch of scientists and just sit down and negotiate a nuclear deal. I mean, that's just so just the audacity of it.
Well, you know, and that's how you end up with a deal like they have on the table, where you just
and we really got
everything.
Man, we really got to quit calling it a deal, because that's how they get away with this stuff. It's not a deal. It is. No. It's like you know, when you try to buy a house and you sign that little thing that says, I'm trying to buy this house, you still got to go get a loan. You still got to do a lot of other stuff. You got to do a whole bunch of other stuff before you actually bought the house. These guys, I'm trying not to run my blood pressure up, man, but I have to tell you, this whole meritocracy thing is really getting me worked up. And I'm not kidding. I mean, you know, Sherry Dunn and I started doing a show on Mondays, and that's her wheelhouse. And by the time I get done talking to her, I want to go hit something because you know, I look at my kids, my background, every person of color I know, and 99% of the time we do not get the benefit of somebody thinking that we're just qualified, just call
Right. Right.
all that just knocks me out.
Yeah, it's not like, you know, you or I could walk into a Wall Street trading desk and just command, you know, take over and start demanding stuff. You know what I mean? People are gonna balk at that a little bit.
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. Not only are you correct, you could actually know what the hell you were talking about and still didn't get correct. You could literally, I mean, because it happened to me on many occasions where the assumption, even though I'm working on Wall Street, I'm running a trading desk, I got my references, all of the shit you're supposed to have. And man, I had guys tell me to my face, they did not believe I knew what I was doing. I know it's hard. I don't mean like saying it in a really aggressive. No, I'm talking about just general conversation, man. You know, you guys really aren't that good, are you? I mean, you know, you guys, oh boy, you're talking a big game. Are you sure you can do that? I mean, these guys aren't even being questioned.
Right.
And these senators that put a bunch of these cats in these roles are acting all surprised now that everything's going to hell in a handbasket. You know?
Right. Right.
So, man, don't get me started.
Yeah, I don't understand. Right. So yeah, it's.
I know.
Okay, so you look back at like, it's so frustrating. But you look back at like how a 4-star general was kicked off of the Joint Chiefs and replaced by this Dan Kane guy who was nowhere near qualified and needed presidential waivers.
Yeah.
Right. You know, you think of that, and it's like, this guy's not qualified. Right. And you know, it's it drives me nuts. It really does.
I'm sorry, man. Somebody in the chat room, MLR, said it's like sending your cat to buy milk. I don't even know if that's
what the hell.
Or it's just, I have 3 cats, and I got news for you. If I send those cats to get some milk, I'll never see their ass again. Because if they find some milk,
right,
they're not coming back here. The only reason they stay here is because I
right.
If they find another food source, let me tell you, they'll be like, Marlon and Shannon, who? Anyway, I'm sorry, man. They'll be like, I don't think I know them. Shoot, man. I had a cat one time.
Right.
Since, you know, that MLR, thanks for opening this door. I had a cat one time, and I'm not even kidding you. We were living in New Jersey. We thought this cat was dead. We thought the cat had run away, you know, because we let it out. We lived in a place where we could let the cats out at night. And this cat, the next day, it just, you know, Jazzy wasn't there. And a week went by, a month went by. Everybody, you know, we had Jazzy's funeral, man. We had this cat's funeral. And I mean, we thought she was dead. I think it was 5 months later, 3 o'clock in the morning, we hear something outside. It's Jazzy. We haven't, I mean, they can't talk to us, so we got no idea where she's been. Halfway around the world, probably.
That's crazy.
And the cat showed up like, you know, what's up? Like nothing had happened. And we just, you know, that's the way cats are. So we won't be sending our cat to buy milk anytime soon. I'm not going to forget that. I can't wait to tell my kid. It's a funny one, I have to say. But, you know, all BS aside, look at this. Here's what we're talking about, folks, because I know a lot of people may not know what the JCPOA was all about. So, okay, this is from the Financial Times, so a good source. And what they did was they looked at Iran's ability, you know, the number of centrifuges. that they installed, because you need the centrifuges. And I'm, definitely not a nuclear scientist, but those centrifuges are essential to develop, to create that material. I think it's called fissile material, but it's something that you have to have in order to get to the next step of doing a nuclear, warhead or whatever. So if you look on the left, you can see from 2011, they kind of started up doing something. But then the JCPOA deal. So from 2011 all the way up to, what are we talking about? Like 2000, I think 17 maybe, or 16, but basically once Obama got in. So I think it's 2017. That's when, I'm sorry, 2016 is when they implemented that nuclear deal. Well, here comes Trump. Now we went from 16 to 18, and they literally gave up everything they had, because we had people going in there. They were living up to the deal by all accounts. And we had, people from, what is it, the IEA or what, the nuclear folks going IAEA, there, and they're looking at IAEA, and they're looking around, and, these guys are doing what they're supposed to do. Trump comes in and says, oh, this is a screwed up deal. Let's get rid of it. And look what happens. It took a couple of years. And now the far left of that diagram, these guys, they got plenty of centrifuges now. And so now we've bombed these guys twice. Folks forget, we bombed them last summer and told everybody that they got nothing. Everything they have has been destroyed, which begs the question of, why did we bomb them again? Nobody's asking, if we destroyed all their shit last summer, what the heck did we just spend billions of dollars on? So there's that. So anyway, man, as you can tell, I'm a little worked up about this.
No, yeah, and as far for all the things you can criticize the Iranian government for, when it comes to diplomacy, they've always been pretty straight up, they honor their commitments. And it's kind of like you said, it's hard to even rationalize why we would even bomb them. Bomb a school, kill a bunch of kids. Like, we took out Khomeini. Okay, great. What did that change? Nothing. Just like when we kidnapped Maduro, what did that change really for Venezuelans? Nothing. And some of this stuff, it's just so Trump could put a feather in his hat, so he can say he did it. So his name could go down in the history books forever, blah, blah, blah. He's going to be in the history books forever, but not for anything good.
Well, he's breaking some records.
For sure.
People can say what they want, but think about it like this. The embarrassment, to me, the biggest embarrassment, is these guys, Iran, I'm talking about. And look, I've never been to Iran. I have no love for Iran. I'm just looking at it and calling it like I see it. These guys who's supposed to be, a bunch of crazy, mullahs running around, don't know shit, have taken America's best freaking punch. And they still here. Yeah. And now they've taken our best punch 2 times. And look how it's turned out. We're about to give these guys what, a billion? No, wait. I think it's something like $300 billion these guys about to walk away with. And they don't care if they ever get that money. You know why? Because the reason that Obama, you hear a lot of times that Obama gave these guys a plane full of, pallets of cash. That is true. Right. The reason he did that,
it was theirs.
It was their freaking money. It was their money. Right. What we did, and this is how America abuses having the reserve currency in the world. It's one of the biggest complaints. We use the dollar to punish people we don't like. And what we have done with Iran, and we do this whenever we put sanctions on people, we kick them off the SWIFT system. So they did not, at the time when Obama did that deal, they did not have the ability to move money electronically because they're outside of the banking system. Well, even if they don't get a dime of this 300 billion that we've been talking about, they don't care because Trump has lifted the sanctions. Now they can, by the way, this money that everybody's talking about, they don't have to deliver it in cash. They're sending these guys money the regular way, like we get money, direct deposit, because Trump has let them back into the banking system. Trump has taken sanctions. These guys selling oil right now, y'all. And whatever you think of Iran, don't get mad at me. I did not negotiate this deal. That is how bad it is. Yes, a bunch of thousands of people, civilians, have gotten killed because of us. 150 school children and teachers right off the bat. That's us. 13, 14, 15 of our military, guys that have made the ultimate sacrifice for some bullshit. Let's just call it like it is.
Right. And that, those are the casualties that we know about, and the damage assessments that they're telling us or that they're giving us are obviously not accurate. You look at the devastation on our military bases across the Middle East, and it's pretty extensive. I would go so far as to say some of those military installations are no longer operational.
Oh no,
that's how bad it is.
Yeah, we aren't finished spending money. We're gonna have to repair all kinds of stuff in the Middle East. Okay? Because of what you just said. Remember, this was 2 months ago we were talking about this, where apparently when we decided to, jump up and attack these people along with Bibi Netanyahu, we didn't really give our guys in the Middle East much of a heads up at all. And so Iran just flew some drones over there and literally blew up a $300 million plane that was just sitting on the tarmac somewhere. One of these, I think it was like an AWACS or one of these, those types of planes.
Yeah.
I mean, so they have turned, what? They're going to do case studies on this because it is the best proof that we're ever going to have that you cannot win a war from the air. You can drop bombs all day long because nobody got more shit to bomb people with than us. Maybe Israel's a close second. I mean, we bombed these people with everything we had, short of, really taking it up a notch to, tactical nuclear shit or something like that, right? We bombed them with everything we had. Trump said the other day that we dropped $1 billion worth of bombs on them one day. So if it was bombs that win a war, these guys supposed to be dead and buried, but they're not. So,
it's like the Taliban, right? 20 years in Afghanistan, and we walk away, and the Taliban takes right back over. Following that embarrassing.
Maybe we ought to start letting people run their own damn countries. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean that's ideally, but following up being embarrassed in Afghanistan with Iran is really showing the world how vulnerable our military is and how easy you can deflect our attacks. So if you were to go up against somebody like China who could match us power for power, you're in deep shit. You know what I mean? That's what this tells me. And
the only way you really can win something like this is to put some physical boots on the dang ground. And they knew that was not going to happen. That wasn't going to happen. And there is no guarantee that we would have done any better putting boots on the ground.
Right. I mean, Iran has a what, 1 to 2 million man standing army. Like they are waiting for a ground invasion. You know what I mean? Like all those soldiers are like, come on, bring it. We're waiting for you because they've seen how effective the Taliban was. They've seen how effective Al Qaeda in Iraq was. You know, Al Qaeda all over Africa, and I mean, come on, man. On the ground, in Iran's not Iraq, right? Iran is mountainous. It's every terrain you can imagine on Earth is in that country. And I mean, I don't know. We would get our ass kicked, I think.
Well, not only that, there's 100 million people that live in this country. This is not like we're just going to roll up in there on some folks. So yeah, it's a disaster. And what's interesting to me, and also sad, is you got these Republican senators that are jumping up now. Cassidy put out a statement talking about how this is awful and it's bad and this.
Right.
And I'm like, the only reason this guy's saying anything is because Trump has sent his ass home. He lost his primary because of Trump. Now he's got plenty to say. I'm so tired of that, man. You know what? I don't understand that phenomenon of cats sitting up knowing that this is a bad guy, knowing all this stuff that they got no problem saying now. And look, one of my senators, I'm in North Carolina, one of my senators is just as bad, Tom Tillis, and I need somebody to explain the calculus. And the reason I say that is these are rich people. They're not billionaires.
Right.
Tom Tillis ain't hurt. He ain't got to worry about his bills. So, I mean, if Trump goes after this guy, he can do like Mitt Romney did and hire him some security. But I think Trump is a whole lot of talk anyway. There are definitely some crazy folks out there that will do what, thinking they're helping him. But again, what if Martin Luther King and all these civil rights people, Fannie Lou Hamer, all these people that got their asses kicked in the 60s for us all to be able to, vote, have rights, all that stuff. What if they acted like these senators, these Republicans that don't ever have anything to say? And if they say something, Trump look at them funny, and then they'll be like, "Oh, that's not what I meant," and they'll try to change. I mean, what if the civil rights leaders had been like that? They didn't have nothing, dude. These were poor people, and they had more balls than these guys. I don't understand it.
Right,
I mean,
they're not.
Look,
they weren't.
You got women out here now.
Right.
Think about like Cassidy Hutchinson. What was she, like 20? She's my daughter's age. And she had more intestinal fortitude than the men she worked for. So I don't know. I've never seen anything like it, man.
I didn't either. And growing up the way I did, and inner city kid, multiracial community, whatever, what they're doing is some bitch shit. There ain't no way anybody I grew up with, right? Ain't nobody I grew up with is gonna bow to some 80-year-old man who shits himself like that. Nobody.
Look,
nobody I know would bow to that guy like that.
There is no universe where some guy is just gonna get all on social media talking about my wife and my children and all this stuff that he says and not catch some hands some kind of way. I don't care what, man. And I'm not even.
That's what I mean. Right?
I'm not even that kind of guy, because I used to get my butt whipped all the time when I was a little sickly kid. So it's not like I'm some badass, but it's just like on principle. You're a senator in the United States, and you're letting that guy talk down to you. Dude, I just remember back in the day, man, senators were damn near like presidents.
Yeah.
Speaker of the House. What a
Right.
sorry guy he is. I don't know what church this guy goes to, but apparently they allow you to just lie about anything. I don't know what his
I
religion is,
mean,
but he's always talking about the
he lives in a
Bible.
house. Right. He lives in a house with a whole bunch of other dudes. So I don't know. There's some shady stuff going on
Wait
there.
a minute. Let's be careful. I mean, I don't know
He
what
does,
his deal is.
though.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They have those situations. Well, you know what? You reminded me of something I heard on the radio the other day. What is the guy's name who won? He's in New York. Is it Tom Swazi? He's a guy. Who was the cat that won up in New York? George. Oh, you know the cat. They basically kicked him out a couple of years ago. He lied about his resume. It was George Sanchez.
George Santos.
Right? Santos. Yeah, Santos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Took me a second, but yeah.
So Tom Swazi won that seat. And I knew.
Oh, okay. I remember now.
You remember, he's basically one of these. I don't know what the equivalent is for a Republican in name only. Maybe it's just Democratic. Well, Dino doesn't sound as good as Rhino, but anyway.
Right.
This guy apparently has been living in one of those houses with some Republicans, and didn't nobody know about it.
Really?
So he's been hanging with the Republicans, but he's a Democrat. And there's more of a story to it. I have to dig. Oh, dude. The guy who outed him was like the guy apparently that helped him in the place. And the guy started feeling bad about it. Yeah, it's a Republican guy. And I saw, man, I'm surprised nobody's talking about this. But I'm going to look it up later. But or maybe somebody in the chat can look it up. But it's crazy. This guy they got this guy saying now, nobody really knows I'm living here, so let's just kind of keep it secret because y'all are Republicans, I'm a Democrat, and so I feel like he's got to go at our earliest convenience. Guys like that got to go home. That's the thing I don't get. You got Trump. Think about this, man. You got Trump primarying folks left and right, and on the Democratic side. Now, Trump, if you don't go along with what his agenda is, he's going to come after you. On the Democratic side, we got a whole cadre of Republican light Democrats, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that we might run somebody that the base likes. Oh my God. That's how David Hogg got his ass kicked out of the DNCC.
Yeah, the DNC.
Yeah. Now look, he made it hard for them not to get him, not because he was pretty aggressive. But I'm just saying the idea is, and Hakeem Jeffrey said this the other day, that they're going to protect incumbents. Well, I don't want an incumbent who can only win by like 1 point, repeatedly. Right. I get, if you add but you got people like, I think Capture up in Ohio. I don't know how the polls are looking for her now, but it's been pretty tight. Well, part of it, I think, is her age. She's up there. She's older than I am. And the other part is, what's the difference? The person she's running against, they're basically the same. So that's not going to cause, people to get up off the couch and come vote for her like they do AOC. So anyway, man.
Right. It's not an exciting candidate. None of her positions are exciting or new. Right. And I seen Dan Goldman in Jersey, or no, actually in New York.
No, he's in New York. He's in New York. Trust fund, baby.
Yeah. He's represents a district he doesn't live in. Anyway, he was talking about on social media recently, it might have been today or yesterday, how it looks like he might lose his primary. And, he's the incumbent. He's the guy Democrats are getting behind, and he might lose his primary to a progressive because it's the same old stuff, and people are sick of the same old stuff. And I don't know who needs to tell who what at the DNCC, but they are heading the wrong way,
Man,
and
I'm gonna
they
tell
just
you
don't
what.
get it.
I'm gonna tell you, somebody's gonna tell him in the voting booth, because he's gonna look. That guy. Like I said, look, I got nothing against rich people. I wouldn't mind being one, but at the same time, I think if I had $1 million more than I have now, the only thing about me that would change is, I don't know, maybe I'd be paying bills early or something. I'd have a nicer car. Let's just keep it real. I might not even be able to buy a house and do all of that. I mean, because houses are expensive.
I'd be
I just
much more relaxed,
I wouldn't
though.
turn into a different. Yeah. I mean, no doubt about it. I'd be sitting here with a drink in my hand right now.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying, man. I just don't understand. Right. Now, I do think, though, at a certain point of wealth, I think it affects you mentally. I really do. Because I look at the behavior of some of these people. I mean, dude, you look at Jeff Bezos 20 years ago and Jeff Bezos today. First of all,
but
dude's on steroids. Okay, he's on steroids.
For sure.
His wife is, whatever she's doing over there. So yeah, it's like a whole different guy. He's walking around looking like he's out of a comic book.
And like, you talk about these two guys, right, that were billionaires, and you wouldn't know it. And I think it affects people differently in different ways. But up here in East Texas, for example, I've met people that you wouldn't know it, but they could go out and buy a multi-million-dollar 400-acre ranch right now, but you wouldn't know it by what they're driving, how they're dressed, and how they're acting. They're pretty down-to-earth, laid-back people. Whether they go out and help anybody, or anything like that, I don't know, but they don't have this Jeff Bezos attitude. And
so you mean to tell me they don't have a yacht for their yacht? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, right. That's just Bezos. Ridiculous.
Come on. That's just, that's just sinful. And I guess the part of it that gets me is the hoarding aspect of it. When you start looking on paper, where you got like a small subset of wealthy people that own almost everything. And then you got the other 90% that barely, I'm talking about crumbs, in the scheme of things. And I don't know, I'm not a historian. I read a lot of history. And when you see this kind of a dramatic, bifurcation of wealth, this is what got Marie Antoinette's head cut off. Okay.
Yeah.
This is what got her head cut off. And I'm not
think of that
sure.
All the time. Yeah.
I honestly think this is worse. You know something? So yesterday, I'm actually writing something about this. I'll have it out either tonight or in the morning. And as usual, no paywall. So I listened to the Federal Reserve. They had their, I guess, quarterly meeting, or however often they meet. And it was interesting because, this is the first meeting that they've had with the new Fed chair that Trump just put in, Kevin Warsh.
Right.
And cats have figured Trump out. They have figured out, look, I'm going to say what I need to say to get this job. Because Trump has said whoever got that job had to be on the same page with him, which meant got to cut interest rates.
Right.
These guys ain't even thinking about cutting no interest rates. You read what they do is they have their 2-day meeting, then they come out, Warsh does a press conference, and they have a statement that they read that basically is a summary of where the Fed is. Are we going, they're going to raise interest rates, lower them, whatever. Well, the decision was we're going to leave things like they are. But, and people like me that are just sort of nerds, Fed nerds, whatever, it jumped right out at me. They did not mention jobs. They only mentioned price stability. The Fed has two things that they're responsible for. Their mandate. One is job growth, and the other one is price stability. Well, you use interest rates to slow things down, right? Especially
Right.
like if, or I'm sorry, that I got it backwards. In the situation where, let's just say, like back during the financial crisis, where just layoffs, companies just firing hundreds of thousands of people, all that stuff, that's where the Fed steps in and lowers interest rates to stop the bleeding, right? And and it
Okay.
creates demand. Well, when jobs are stable, you don't have to do that. That's where we are right now. On the other side of the equation, price stability. We don't have that. Prices are going up like crazy, right? The way the Fed deals with that is raising interest rates.
Right.
Before the end of the year is out, they're going to raise interest rates at least once, maybe twice. Trump is not going to like that at all.
Right. I was going to say Trump's going to shit
He's
himself.
not going to like that at all, dude. But it's going to happen. I'm telling you, as sure as I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
The other thing that was interesting, I'm probably one of the few people, you know how folks like play fantasy football and they got their favorite players. I got like my favorite economists. I got like a half a dozen economists that I really like. And one of them is a lady named Diane Swank. And Diane Swank is the chief economist at KPMG. And Diane Swank was on Bloomberg today, and she pointed out something. And you don't hear people say this, especially on Bloomberg. She started talking about inequality. She said, what we're going through right now has the reason that interest rate or that prices are going up and we got this inflation we've moved beyond the energy shock and beyond tariffs, and this is just systemic now. This is not anything. Those things certainly are factors, and tariffs obviously got the ball rolling, but what you got is a situation where companies are hoarding product because they know the price is going to go up, right?
Right.
And it's creating basically two economies of really wealthy people that can ride it out and they got plenty of money. And on the other side, you got, regular folks that are just trying to get by. But I hadn't heard an economist say anything about inequality rather, really at all, as in terms of it being part of the problem. So there's that, man.
Right. Yeah, that is surprising because, especially coming from the financial sector, that's not something you would typically hear people talk about, because they typically look at the economy in a broader sense, like the people
they're looking at the
whole.
top line stuff. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But she
it's
said
interesting
it today, man. I thought it was an interesting comment because I just had it rolling or, playing. And then when I heard inequality, I was like, who said that? And yet, so, I mean, it was just kind of shocking, but she's not wrong.
Yeah.
Well, man, we got about 15 minutes left. Can let's switch up to some good news, something that, so tomorrow is Friday. And of course, I'm sure it's not a coincidence that the memorandum of understanding is supposed to get released tomorrow, or it goes into effect or something. There's something else happening too. The Obama Presidential, I guess, museum, library. I'm not even sure what they're calling it. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It opens to the general public, I think, tomorrow. But today,
I believe that's
they had all living presidents except one. Was invited.
Who
so everybody
invited?
was. Yeah, I can't remember who they didn't invite.
Can't imagine.
Trump. Yeah.
It was JFK. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I mean, George W. Bush was there. Joe Biden was there. Bill
Right.
Clinton was there. And, lots of great speeches. And I just thought, given all the funky news, maybe a little bit of Obama would be appropriate. But before I do that, though, here's I think this is an aerial view just to give people an idea that are watching what we got here. This is from the New York Times, but man, it's beautiful. Where'd it go? There we go. Wow. So,
yeah, I seen some video of that on various news outlets here and there, and man, it looks really cool. Yeah, I like it.
I'm gonna try
pretty
to get
thrilled
out
about
to Chicago. I mean, well, it should be easy for you, man. You should be able to jump on a plane and get there pretty quick. Maybe.
Why would it be so easy for me?
I don't know. I mean,
I'm in Texas. That's a long way.
Yeah, but it's
no.
I mean, in Arkansas, you can pretty much get you used to be able to get like a shuttle that goes to, Chicago's a point, it's a destination.
Oh,
so
yeah.
It wasn't that hard to get to. I mean, it's when you live in Arkansas,
And hey,
you got to.
I'm not far from. I'm right here, Texarkana, close to it. So yeah, Arkansas's right there.
Damn.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
So yeah, man, it's it looks beautiful, and I was just listening on the radio to some stuff today, and you just think, wow, it's hard to believe we went from that to this. It's real hard.
Hey man, I take comfort in knowing that in Trump's library, it's all going to be children's books. Because that's all he can read.
Wait a minute. You think that guy's going to crack one of them books, man? You're crazy.
Well,
that guy ain't reading nothing. But
that's true.
Yeah. He's not interested in learning. He knows everything. So there's that.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, I want to go out. I'll tell you what. So Obama, of course, made a speech, and I just think it would do all of us good to hear how, I'm not even going to say real presidents, because all of these guys are president. Trump's president. He's just not a good one. But this is the class. And look, that's the part. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. For all the issues I had with Obama, I do miss that guy.
How can you not?
As a president.
I mean,
right?
I never, when he was president, and look, he became, people forget this. And I know a lot of people who are watching or listening may not have even been old enough to care. Like my kids never knew another president but Obama.
Right.
So that was all they knew. And they thought, oh, it's always like this. Okay. And then bless their hearts, they got a rude awakening. They were like, wait a minute. I thought presidents were supposed to have some damn sense. but just like you said, I didn't agree with everything he did. I think he could have been a whole lot more aggressive, but I think, first of all, people forget the circumstances that Obama walked into. He had to change his entire agenda because Bush
he did.
let these folks blow the economy up, right? So I was sitting on a trading desk watching and trying to not like run out in the backyard and start burying shit, right? It was frightening. And that's what Obama walked into. So
it was a very scary time.
It was scary the point. People don't remember. Folks were jumping in front of trains. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about poor people. I'm talking about investment bankers. Guys jumping out of windows, guys literally working themselves to death, out of stress and stuff. I'm not trying to get you to feel sorry for them. I'm just saying that's what was going on. So
I mean, no, that's what it was. Yeah.
So okay,
here's
Mr. Barack Obama.
We did not accomplish everything we set out to do. No administration does. Some of the exhibits reflect unfinished business. In some cases, my own shortcomings and mistakes. In some cases, because, as a sign I kept on the Resolute desk read, hard things are hard. And that's especially true in a big, raucous, diverse, argumentative democracy like the United States of America. Everybody's got an opinion. And that means getting stuff done involves reconciling the demands of a couple of 100 million people. Democracy can be frustrating. It can be slow. It can be inefficient. And yet, more than anything, I hope this center will serve as an affirmation of just how special, how precious our democracy truly is, and remind us what we can achieve when we embrace our shared responsibilities as citizens.
Man, I miss a guy who can speak with eloquence like that.
I'll tell you what I miss.
Like, come on.
And somebody, let's see, where did I just see this? So this is in our Substack chat room. Somebody said where that they basically, I'm trying to find it, but they basically said that, oh, here it is. Education is a lamp, says. When Obama was president, you could sleep at night without worrying about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse riding in and, with inflation in tow. And that's exactly right. Right. I'm telling you, man, during the financial crisis, I'm working on Wall Street. I was not worried about what Obama was going to say or what he was going to do. None of that.
Right.
I knew he had shit under control. They literally called the guy No Drama Obama because he just didn't get involved like that. Can you imagine what would have happened if Barack Obama was running around here at 3 o'clock in the morning, texting and on freaking social media, fighting with folks,
rambling,
misspelling words, making up words.
Right.
They would have had his ass out. They would have impeached him and removed him. They ready to impeach this guy over a freaking tan suit. Which by the way, just before I got on, I don't know who it was, but somebody showed up at the ceremony. Somebody that's close to them showed up with a tan suit.
Oh, that's classic.
Yeah. Well, they had a laugh. I mean, it was intended.
That's classic. That's something I would have done.
It's and I got news, man. And I don't have this one queued up, but Michelle Obama, man, that woman, she's strong. She gave a speech.
Listen, I don't care what anybody says. Michelle Obama's fine as hell. Sorry, Barack.
I don't think he's worried about us, man. I hate to tell you.
No, I don't think he is either. But just out of respect.
But no, she's just such an intelligent and attractive woman, and it just really, it really, it's so disappointing to see people. Now you've opened the door to this whatever you want to call this MMA event that they had. I saw today, man, in the aftermath of that, it's just a fiasco. They've ruined the White House lawn. They've ruined the White House lawn and just trash everywhere. They didn't even clean up, man. They're still like, what I saw was today. I don't know when the video was taken, but just trash all over. And it's just, it's sad. But anyway, man, I guess
saw video.
Go ahead.
I saw video of these MAGA dudes fighting each other during the event. Big screen in the background. They're dumbasses, dude. I swear.
Rolling around on the lawn and just, police. It looked like, what was that show, that Cops that used to come on? It was literally like a bunch of drunks just rolling around, throwing punches, not hitting anybody, and just an embarrassment. Right. A real embarrassment.
Very embarrassing. But
I just hope, I just hope that we can work our way out of this. I really do. I'm not sure we can, but we have to.
If we can somehow take power away from Republicans in these midterms, that's a huge step in trying to rein in some of this nonsense. Even if it's a bunch of Democrats we don't like, as long as they ain't voting with Republicans, we can fight back, but
it's like this. I would rather have, which, by the way, I'll tell you, this is going to be interesting. And I don't know the lady's name, but apparently the person who's going to come behind Muriel Bowser in DC is a Democratic socialist. And Trump's already, yes, they just called the race to like this afternoon. She's a Democratic socialist. And Trump is already talking about federalizing the city. So that's going to be interesting. And she ran, I was a little disappointed in Muriel Bowser. However, I feel like, she's in a position where you got to do what you got to do just to keep the city running, right? But I felt like she just sort of acquiesced a little too much and, I'm going to work with it. You can't work with a guy like this. Ask all these people he screwed over. You can't work with him. You can't compromise with him.
I refrained a little bit from criticizing her too much because the DC situation and how it has to function with the federal
she didn't have a choice.
And it's almost like she didn't. And I agree. I feel like she did acquiesce a little too much, but in a sense, maybe she felt like she had to. And that's kind of why I kind of give her a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. But it's DC. DC is a whole different animal when it comes to trying to be a mayor and run a city just because of the federal government. The city doesn't really have any kind of autonomy,
No, and I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's a tough situation.
All these people, you just look, we were talking about Cassidy. He's a senator from Louisiana, or he's not going to be one much longer. But this guy, think about it.
Right.
He thought if I let RFK Jr. go through, he was the deciding vote. And he thought that protected him. And something he did, a year or so earlier that Trump didn't like. Trump don't forget that kind of shit. So if you ever, he's like one of these dudes, if you laughed at him in high school, he is out for you. And so, these guys, Tom Tillis.
I think Cassidy too, at a hearing, in a Senate hearing, kind of came at RFK for kind of lying during this confirmation hearing.
He did.
About vaccines or something like that. Yeah, so that's probably where Trump probably really decided, to come after Cassidy, I think.
Yeah. Well, man, it's I keep looking at the clock, man, and I think our clock runs in like 10-minute intervals or something, because we don't have enough time.
Yeah, right.
But
no, we don't.
I'll tell you, man. So tell me what you're working on right now. You got anything that we need to know about?
No, I'm kind of tracking this whole thing, this new budget thing with ICE, the extra $70 billion, you know, where that money's going towards surveillance stuff. And, you know,
that
it's
reminds me.
not looking good. Not looking good
totally
for us as U.S. citizens.
Forgot about this since you mentioned ICE. And this is just, boy, I tell you. So this just popped up on the New York Times just, I don't know, an hour ago. So evidently, these concentration camps that they went out and bought and spent all this money on, they are either going to give away or sell 7 of them. And the price tag, they spent $700 million. When you come into it saying we might give something away, who do you think's going to pay? They're not going to get that money back, you know. So there's that. So
yeah, they overpaid for a lot of those. Yeah.
Everybody, I mean, dude, folks saw them coming. So hopefully you can fill us in on that, you know, because I'm sure it's.
Yeah, I'll do my best. Yeah.
It's you know. But other than that, man, I think everything's going pretty well. What do you think? I mean, other than
everything's fine when I'm sleeping.
Yeah, other than runaway inflation and senseless wars, I think we're doing okay.
Yeah, not bad, I guess.
But anyway, so that's all we got for the day. But hopefully, I don't know what I think the purpose is to inform, but also to keep it, just light enough that nobody gets a migraine, or you don't start like cursing your kids out, or we try to put a little bit of humor in there, but otherwise we're this is what we do. We actually missed last week because for the first time both of us were out of town, but on the road. It's probably like one of those comets that only comes around once a year, so hopefully that, or once every so many years, so hopefully it won't happen again anytime soon.
No kidding.
Anyway,
all right, guys,
until next time, watch your backs. It's tough out there, folks. See you on the other side.